Hello and welcome to Roll 4D4, the Power Rangers. I am your host, Ennui, and welcome to episode 4. Last time on the Power Rangers, our heroes got some lore from the mysterious Bandora, and they became a Power Ranger in his teenage years, and has almost, in their own words, watched their life kind of zoom by as the years took their toll and made him something he wasn't prepared to become. He doesn't seem happy that he's a Power Ranger, and he doesn't seem happy that children are becoming Power Rangers and maybe going to face the same things that he's come across. Wade took to the ship's computers to try and find some information on his father and was successful after getting some help from Navi in both spelling and his search criteria. And they now plan to head to the Appalachians to do some more research and even try and find information about the Mystic Forest. Second, Tyrion has bonded with Mick some and is now more dedicatedly working on Secret Spider in the ship's lab. Secret Spider has been coming along fairly well, and with the help of Mick, now has some more stable parts that can be used to help it move and function. But things aren't working quite yet. And just as things seem a little more frustrating than they can handle, the mysterious train, the toy train that's with Tyrion, goes into Secret Spider for the second time. This time changing a battery source from one color to purple, the color of Tyrion's Ranger. I wonder what's going to come from that. Next up, we have Vesper, who took to the ship's training room and quickly made friends with the training computer. Seeing a hologram version of another Power Ranger morph, Vesper has started to ponder on morphing calls and ways to call upon the power. And finally, there is Lamar, who went home after the lore drops from Bandora and struggled a bit with finding the words to tell his father what happened. Uh, Lamar's father, Donovan, seems a bit suspicious about things that are going on, but he trusts his son. Well, he wants to trust his son, and maybe right now things seem a little untrustworthy. Moving on, a mysterious moth has invaded the dreams of the players, taking over their vision as it chanted slowly, Rangers, Rangers. Along with this dream of a moth, they could also see in third person Mick as well as Vandora having a conversation on the deck of the ship about the heroes. The audio was muffled as they could only hear a few words in the beginning before that mysterious moth flew in and took over their vision and the rest of the dream. And we are waiting now for our other players to join in. So I will introduce myself. I am your GM, Ennui. My pronouns are they, she. And I have crafted this story that we've been playing. I never really expected to make it to session 4. I never expected to have a session 0 or 1. It's been crazy. And I guess I could announce this now. Well, not announce it, but something I'm going to be attempting to go for. Meet Roll4D4 at PAX Unplugged. I'm going to apply for a panel, or not panel, but I'm going to apply for a RPG space and time for PAX Unplugged. And I'm going to be running a Power Rangers one-shot that I have written that is actually a prequel to the events of the game that we are playing now. PAX Unplugged, I believe, is in November. That sounds right in my head right now. I gotta look back into it later. But PAX Unplugged is coming up, and maybe you can meet Roll4D4 there and ask me questions about my stories and maybe even playing a one-shot that's a prequel. And you can get some answers for things you want answers for, like the Vengeance Score. But let's move on from future events and introduce our cast. First, we have Aaron playing Tyrion.
Hello, everyone. I am Tyrion, Aaron, he, him pronouns, and we now have gotten secret spiders somewhat functional. We're trying to get them better functional.
Next up, the They from Outer Space, Gabby playing Vesper.
Hi, I'm Gabby. If you listened to last episode, you would have found out some stuff about V. Uh, Although I would say that they enjoyed probably the X-Men like training room that they kind of ended it on.
Next up, the boy from the rough streets, making his way into Angel Grove, DJ playing Lamar.
Howdy, gang. How's it going? Excited for another session of anxiety. And I've learned never to lie again.
And last but not least, the strange boy from strange young man from the Appalachians, Gage playing Wade.
Hey, howdy, hi. Last episode, I mentioned the absurd amount of siblings, and I dug through my notes from when I was brainstorming the character. I have 3 younger siblings, 7 older, and 47 cousins. Between all the aunts and uncles. Oh yeah. But from what he remembers before he dozed off was sifting through the computer to find the fact that the magic forest apparently changes location, which is going to make the search for his father a lot more interesting.
All right, we've reintroduced our players and our GM, given you some future things to look forward to, and now it's time to move back into the world of the Power Rangers. And last we left our characters, they were having a dream where a strange moth entered their vision as they watched Mick and Bandora have a conversation that they can't quite make out from a third-person perspective that seems very strange. The strange moth flies into the vision of the dream, everything going black around it as whispers can be heard. Rangers, growing louder and louder. Before this dream, I'm gonna make a quick dice roll. Well, let me ask first, did anyone want to do anything else before they went to sleep?
Nah.
No? Okay, then we can move forward. Okay. So, Lamar, you are at home, and everyone else stayed on the ship?
No, Vesper eventually went back to Lamar's house.
Okay.
Same. As soon as Wade hit the first roadblock and sifting through that computer, he got bored and went back to Lamar's house.
Tyrion?
Tyrion's in the bed.
All right. So everyone wakes up in the morning in Donovan's home, Lamar's home. Donovan was still awake when the 3 of you arrived at the same or separate times that you arrived. And he greeted all of you, and even everyone give me a give me an alertness roll. Difficulty of 3.
That's funny. Tyrion has 3 for the 20 and 3 for the the modifier.
I have a 20 out of 20, no modifier.
Vesper has a 14 on the 20 and a 2 on the 6.
First roll of the game.
All right, that's everybody passing, right? Or DJ, did you roll?
Oh, I assumed it was just the people coming in. Should
no,
I also?
Yeah. Oh no, that's true. That's true.
Oh, okay.
You're right. Okay. So.
Okay.
Tyrion and Vesper, when you guys arrived, at whatever times you arrived, you definitely noticed that Donovan was a little visually upset, but you couldn't really pinpoint what. Like it could be a family dispute. Maybe his day was bad and he's just up late. I don't know. I'm going to bed. And you guys just went to bed. But Wade, when you got in, you saw that look of a tired dad. And it's a look you've seen on the face of your own father. It's a look you've seen on your uncles' faces, on your cousins' faces who have their own kids, on your grandfather's faces, of a tired dad who's worried about their boy. And it's a very familiar look to you, and you feel a bit sympathetic, but it's about 3 a.m, and you became a superhero yesterday. It's time for bed. So you've all headed to bed, and you awake in the morning. The sun is bright as it shines in through your windows and touches your skin. The California air is crisp and warm. And you can hear the clanging and the rattling of pans in the kitchen again. You smell the cooking in the air, this time not being burnt. And it's much more calm sounding than having 3 teenagers in the kitchen. So what's everyone want to do in the situation? You have the house to explore and also to see who's in the kitchen.
So I imagine V would probably be like the first, or unless we all woke up at the same time, because they did like pass out just on the floor in the living room, I imagine.
What time is it currently?
It's about 7:50, 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
I think
Lamar
we-
tends to wake up and make breakfast, so I think that's probably where he'd head first.
Okay. Is everyone else going to be heading to the kitchen, or are we going to follow Lamar heading to the kitchen first?
You said
V would also go to the kitchen.
Okay.
you said Wade got back at 3 a.m.
About that time, yeah.
He's still asleep on the couch. He ain't moving.
Okay.
Probably not till the
Tyrion-
crack of noon.
Tyrion's probably 5 minutes behind everyone going into the kitchen.
Alright, so, Lamar, you have entered the kitchen first, and the pots and pans you hear in the kitchen, you would assume to be coming from your father. This is your house. But when you enter the kitchen of your home, you don't find your father. You find Mick in your house making breakfast. He's still got his regular mechanic overalls, coveralls on, but now he's wearing an apron over them as he is flipping pancakes and bacon, different fixings in pans and pots, and gathering bowls. And he turns around to you. Rangers, you're awake! So glad you're here. Donovan, your dad headed to work. and I snuck in and started getting things ready.
Good morning, Mick. I was expecting my dad. We got a big day today.
Uh, yeah. I talked to Navi last night, and we have a lot of things going on right now. First things first. Period. Secret Spider's gonna have to take a little bit of a break. We need to gather some more materials before we can really get started on figuring out what just happened last night with the train and the power. We'll talk about it later. And wait, Navi gave me the rundown on the Appalachians, and I think I found something that might be useful to you. And who else? V, good job in the training room. Try not to dent the walls too much.
Perhaps you should
Areas
just
of
make
more.
stronger walls.
Am I assuming that when Mechanic says that, he's like yelling across the room into the living room because Wade's still asleep on the couch?
Absolutely. And Lamar, you cut out pretty fast last night. How'd things go for you?
He killed him.
He'll come back.
Oh no, more technical difficulty.
He's just in the morphin grid. It's okay.
So as Lamar stands there, frozen at the thought of admitting the lies he told his father, he kind of freezes for a second and like nods his head and tilts him down. And Mick just goes, "Oh, okay." So anyway, the reason I kind of snuck in today is because I wanted to talk to you guys about some things that Bandora said. Did he mention the Children of D?
Yeah, he did. He gave us some names too.
Wade is gonna yell back across the living room, "D's nuts!"
As Tyrion laughs too. Because it will never not be funny.
Wade, you can go ahead and add 1 point to whatever that thing is. Mick
DJ's
is
getting a new headset. I don't know if y'all saw.
okay.
Yes.
So Mick is going to kind of like nod his head at Wade's words and okay, yep. So Vesper, they also told you that your sibling might be one of the Children of D, right?
I don't believe he said might be. I believe he said they were.
Okay, so you are confirmed. I've been busy with Secret Spider as well as a couple other projects and getting your communicators ready and really connected to the ship. I haven't gotten too much time to really catch up on the news on the ship as it would be, so I catch up with Navi when I can. But for today, I was thinking we could maybe head to the mountains and get a head start on that Appalachian quest.
I rolled for him to laugh at that, if you're interested.
What was your roll?
That is the 14 on the 20 and the 6 on the 6 for a total of 20.
Alright, he rolled a 3, so he is absolutely busting his ship.
I'd like to think that he was just
slapping.
doing it the entire time he was like explaining all of that. He just would periodically like lose it.
He dropped a pancake. Alright, but yeah. So I was thinking that we can get a head start on this Appalachian quest. When I did some research with Navi, I found a couple things about the Mystic Forest in some deeper research that I had stored away, and I think there might be a way to track it down. But we need a forest, and we're already looking for one, and we know where one is.
So then this is going to make Wade get up finally, but he's going to do it very lazily and performatively so. Until he stumbles over into the kitchen, basically in a, wife beater and underwear, and he's gonna say, "All right, let's go."
Well, we
You point to the
first.
pancake on the floor and say, 5-second rule. And he's
It
gonna
has been-
gesture at Mick to point it up or to pick it up.
It has been 20 seconds, and he's just gonna step to the side to just let you deal with it, what you will. Right. Bandora is warming the Galleon, so when you guys are ready to move, we will. But I just want to make sure that there's not anything else that we're going to be walking over today. I know everyone kind of has their own thing going on, but we're still rangers in the end, so we have to be ready if and when we're needed.
Is Lamar's dad within earshot?
Oh no,
Of
he's
any of this.
He left, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. Did we at any point in the last session discuss how we're handling our secret identity amongst ourselves to each other? I know is said that we're encouraged to keep it secret, and that's why he lied and stuff, but did we talk to each other in character about how we're handling that?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Okay. So, we don't know Lamar lied, right? You haven't told us?
Correct. The thing I tried to say earlier was that he didn't want to talk about it because he was embarrassed, but then, headphones cut out.
I like that's exactly what Lavender had your character do.
Yeah, that's perfect. That was what I was going to do anyway, so.
All right.
All right, Rangers. So, any discussions before we gotta go? I know Bandora went over the rules of being a ranger with you, but I know he barely follows them as it is.
I think Wade's just gonna look around at everybody else and then come to the realization that he has basically no clothing on and walk away from this awkward question.
Clothes, preparation, and meat on the ship. And speaking of meat on the ship, I've been working on something a little bit new. It's only on mine for now, but it should be on everyone's in a few weeks or so. And as Mick says that to let you all start preparing, he lifts up his right arm for his communicator, and indoors he taps it and is teleported away. And we're going to fast forward some time where Wade has gotten dressed and is in appropriate clothing, and everyone has eaten breakfast and found a safe spot outdoors to teleport onto the Galleon, where they are greeted by Mick, who stands at the helm of the ship, and Bandora leaning against one of these ship's pillars. He looks like he is dusty, and his jacket is covered in splinters. And Mick and Bandora having a pretty loud conversation about television and movies. Bandora's loudly disagreeing with Mick's opinion on the ending of some mob movie that he wishes that he never went to see, but Mick dragged him along to it, and Mick is fully disagreeing that it was an amazing movie that's fully nuanced and had so many allegories that went over his head. And they finally notice the two of you.
Oh, good.
No, go for it.
Oh no, Vesper was just gonna clear their throat. He's like, we are
They,
here. Hello.
they both turn their heads toward you. Fuck. Okay. And Bandora kind of like wipes his face. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to clean myself up before you guys got here. I was in the crow's nest looking over things, making sure we weren't being followed. And then Mick brought up the worst movie I've ever seen for the third time. And Mick is gonna argue, I told you it was gonna be good, and you went in hating it knowing you wanted to hate it, and that's why you hate it. Alright, but you guys ready to move? We have tons of daylight to kill and a fast-moving ship, so we can only be there in about maybe an hour or less.
What was the movie?
Let me roll for movie.
The Dawn Father 2.
I was thinking the same movie.
Reservoir Cats.
A classic.
Thank you! Someone agrees with me.
Yeah,
gonna have
but
to
it was
lore
made
check
by
that
that
later.
one foot-shaped weirdo who also just happens to really like feet.
I gotta look.
I don't-
I gotta lore check that later and see what year that came out.
96, 98, something like that.
That sounds right.
Oh yeah, that's like a year. It's fine. It's fine.
92.
But never mind. It's good.
Oh.
That works. So that definitely exists. And they both like kind of nod their heads with you. You guys are on the Galleon, and you notice you are up above the clouds again. So when you look down, you just see clouds, and when the clouds are sparse, this very tiny city below you. As the ship starts to move for the first time with you on board, and it feels almost like the jerking of a train as the front car pulls ahead and every car behind it kind of jostles for a second as they fall in line and move forward. You kind of feel that similar feeling as the airship bucks for a second and starts to move through the air, wind blowing past your ears, and the sails of the Galleon ship fluttering open and being pushed forward by the air. It doesn't really make sense when you look at it, because this is a flying ship. It's moving forward, air is moving backwards towards you, but there's also a cross breeze to feel the sails, but we're also rocket boosted. It's not enough to question. It's not weird. And you start your journey over the skies of California, making your way to the San Angelo mountain range. So you are coming from Middleton Heights, going over Kotaro Hills, and in the hour that journey is going to take, does anyone want to do anything on the ship?
Can I backtrack for just 1 second?
Yeah.
What is the in-universe version of Quentin Tarantino?
Damn, I wish my fiance was here. We literally make fun of his name all the time.
Encourage the Cowardly Dog. It's Benton Taranteller. Can it be that?
Yes.
Perfect.
So it's Benton Taranteller. Is his real name. Encourage the Cowardly Dog is real. It is a real show. So Encourage the Cowardly Dog, the parody name was Quentin Tarantino.
Boom.
I'm here for it.
I don't have my notebook next to me today, so I can't write that down, so I'm going to rely on you guys to remember that, as I do with a lot of things. Love you.
Gabby, thank you for being our archivist.
Alright, yeah, so anyone want to do anything on the ship? I know there's going to be an interaction before we do arrive, but does anyone want to do anything specific?
Oh, my real backtrack besides the gag. I wanted to when you mentioned that we were kind of moving and it felt very much like a train, I wanted to look back at Tyrion and just kind of gauge his reaction from that motion and feeling as you were describing it being like super mechanical.
Here,
I guess Tyrion, give me an alertness roll. See how you react to this train.
shouldn't that just be a Tyrion's very stone face? Hold on, let me.
Yeah, so actually,
Alertness,
go
right?
ahead and alertness, and go ahead and roll that with an upshift 1.
That was 2d20s, right?
No, well, what's
Or
your?
Oh no, upshift is the other thing. Okay, never mind. D6.
Yeah.
We have a 18 for the D20 and a 6 for the D6.
So wait, looking back at Tyrion, the little dude's got his hands in his pockets. He don't give a shit.
Very stone face.
He does this. The wind is blowing his
But
hair.
personally, Tyrion does want to run around the ship. Personally,
There's nothing.
But I
stopping
can't tell
you.
that, right?
You are on a giant ship. Well, you know what?
so yes, nothing is stopping me. You can't tell that I want to run around, but I'm about to have the zooms in like 3 seconds.
You are on a ship that is very oversized and also flying in the sky, and you aren't freezing or choking. There's nothing in this world to stop you.
So Tyrion's running around the deck. Just cause.
I think as he's like running around, Vesper would probably like walk up to Lamar, seeing how he was earlier this morning, and kind of like ease up next to him and go, "So, it seems like everybody else is handling this well." And then they're gonna point to Tyrion running around. But how are you? You, for lack of better words, you seem like you're not.
I lied to my dad last night, and I know he doesn't believe me, but I can't tell him. So I don't know.
Yes,
One second, I'm gonna make a quick roll. Ooh, never mind. Keep talking.
yes, with Mick breaking and entering in your house, I still doubt that the Power Rangers are not well, I believe they are a criminal organization. Maybe not to the extent of what I'm used to. Look at it like this. Some lies, the ends justify the means, you know? And maybe one day you can tell him the truth.
From above you, from above the both of you, from a higher up part of the ship where Mick is steering, Bandora leans over with his arms and elbows on the railing and goes, "They're not wrong." And they're gonna jump over the railing and land next to you, their boots clomping down on the wood as they stand and stretch a bit, crack their neck. Some secrets are harder to keep and easier to tell. But in my experience, some truths are harder to maintain. I won't stop you if you want to tell your dad the truth. But you better be prepared for the things he might do when he knows.
I wouldn't recommend telling the truth right away. You just lied to him last night. I will recommend, though, that when the time comes, if you need a friend, I will be there. And your father told me once it is a custom to thank people for being friends. So thank you for being my friend. And then she's gonna glance to like Pandora and go, "Not you. I am still certain you're a crime lord."
I was. Well, not crime. All right. And they're just gonna do a superhero jump back up to where they were and walk back towards Mick to help them steer the ship. So
Yeah.
the skies are very, or the upper skies are very clear below, above you guys, as the cloud skies below you, start to get a little bit gray, as you are now about halfway over Kotaro Hills. Tyrion is running, enjoying the very large space they have to run around in. Wade, you up to anything?
Yeah, point of just so I get my bearings, where is everyone standing in relation to all of this happening? Obviously, Tyrion's running around the whole thing, but everybody else.
I think after that conversation, Lamar would, if it's an option, probably want to like go out on the deck and, you know, see this from out there.
Oh yeah, we're on the
Oh,
deck
or
now.
we're on the deck. We're on the deck. Okay.
How far away would Wade have been from that conversation? I guess is really what I'm trying to gauge.
Well, you were all standing in like talking distance of each other before Tyrion went off to run around, and you guys were fairly close enough to Bandora and Mick when you teleported in.
And I was trying to gauge what Tyrion's response was, so I guess I was pretty focused on him then.
Yeah, but you're definitely
I'm not sure where.
in listening distance. You're not far from them.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure where Lamar was, but I just said that like Vesper walked towards them, but they weren't like being quiet about it either.
Okay. So Wade would have heard him saying that he lied to his dad, right?
Yeah, I would say so. He wasn't like whispering or anything.
Okay.
Alright, so you want to have any reactions to that, or you got anything to?
I'm gonna say Wade heard probably half of it because he was focusing on the small child running around in circles. So he's gonna walk over to Lamar and say, "Hey, I seen your daddy last night. He looked awful sad. You know anything about that?"
Lamar gets a pain look and goes, "Yeah, a little bit."
Why? What happened? You didn't lie to him or anything, did you?
Maybe.
Can Vesper like kind of nudge him like with their elbow, like kind of hard? They're not strong at all. Their strength is a big old 2, but they're still gonna just like give him a nudge, like no.
Well, I guess we're all in it now, and I'm gonna put my hand out like I'm gonna shake his hand.
Extend.
Firmly grasp it.
All right, that's a handshake.
Roll for
All right.
grasp. Will you give me a flat
Grasp.
d20?
Roll for grasp it.
Just a
I rolled a
straight
1.
20, or do I add brawn or might? Which one?
Oh, no, you just give me a flat d20. No,
Flat D20, okay.
No anything.
Okay. Well, I got a 4.
I appropriately rolled a 1 for grasp it. So
So Wade, as you naturally do, you shake someone's hand a little firmer than you need to, and then they are. And Lamar was not at all prepared for that. And like his hand kind of like opens when you squeeze it.
Oh, it's like a dead fish. Okay. Well, you tried, and that's all that matters.
I'm not with it today.
You guys are about 75% of the way over Kotaro Hills. And if you look over the side, you will start to see the edges of trees and mountains as you start to lose the sight of city under you. And coming towards you is more mountain and misty ranges and higher clouds that the ship starts to slowly arc up to get a little bit higher in the sky. But none of you really feel that shift, but you can see it as the world around you kind of tilts as you move up.
Do we? You said there's like a breeze or anything. Has there been any other change in like that we notice? Like when you when you go ahead.
You do notice that beneath you, the clouds are starting to get darker. The further you start to sail towards the San Angeles Mountains.
Darker like storms or just like a little cloudy?
Give me a survival roll. Actually, you give me a. Since it's you specifically, you give me a history roll. Not. This isn't D&D. This isn't D&D. It doesn't exist here. Let me look at my DM screen real quick. Yes, give me a
Would it be a
survival.
culture roll?
Yeah, so culture maybe.
I heard survival. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
give me survival. But
Okay.
It would have been culture.
Okay. That is my second 20 of the game. So that's 20 out of 20. And then survival is the only thing I have in smarts, and I got a 1 on the D4. So
That was
21.
almost a goddamn. That was almost a crit. So you absolutely notice that these are storm clouds, and on that net 20, you feel an ominous feeling as you saw some storm clouds recently that were almost this dark.
Is it? Am I drawing a connection to the encounter we had?
You could, yeah.
And you said Mick is like up top, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's out on the deck right now. I think the only person you don't see is Navi.
I'm gonna go try to find Mick just to bring this to a point of attention because I'm getting nervous.
Gotcha. So right now you're on the deck, and you're gonna walk up those stairs that lead up to a higher part where the steering wheel is. You notice Pandora's not around anymore, but Mick is confidently at the wheel of the ship, keeping everything steady.
I'm going to bring to his attention, hey, there's some nasty business ahead if you ain't seen it coming up. Don't that
storm
look
below?
a little familiar to you?
I mean, I've seen a lot of storms. I guess they all kind of look the same after a while. And Mick's gonna make a quick roll. I don't think I recognize the storm. What do you mean? What's up?
Well, I mean, before we all got zapped into Power Rangers, there was a fight going on, and there was a awful lot of similarity between what happened then and what I see ahead.
I think I get what you're putting down. Do you think something might? Do you think something might be causing the storm on purpose?
I'm not like a meteorologist, but I'm also new to this whole turning into a superhero and magic being real and all this, that, and the other. So, I don't know, man. You're the real adult here.
Oh no, I hear you.
Ain't you like 1,200 years old or something?
I around that, but I do see your point, and you might be right about that. And Mick is gonna take his right hand off the wheel and put his communicator up to his mouth. Navi, can you do a scan of the area, seeing if we're running into anything we don't see, and run his communicator here?
I'm on it, Mick.
And a couple seconds go by. A couple more seconds go by, and on Mick's communicator,
Nothing. Nothing I'm seeing, at least.
And mix it and look back up at you. So we're not scanning anything, but I am going to keep what you said in mind. That's definitely a good point to make. Maybe we should start tracking storms to keep an eye on things around the world. But for now, we'll keep sailing and see where we end up. Because right now, Mick is going to kind of broadly gesture his hand and kind of raise his voice so everyone can hear him. Welcome to the San Angeles mountain range. As you break through a wall of mist and you see the San Angeles mountain range in a storm. And Mick's face drops immediately. Oh, Wade, you might be on something. Thunder crashes and wind whips through the trees as the shaking of branches fills the air, the clapping of leaves and the clattering of rain on those leaves and on the ground. The whole forest is loud in a hiss and the creaking of branches. Mick's face is very perplexed, as this was not what he expected. I don't think this is what anyone expected. And from the crow's nest high above you, you hear Bandora shout down, "Is this normal? I don't think this is normal." So with the weather suddenly changing once again, and you guys in a place that you feel like you're supposed to be in, what's going through everyone's mind?
That damn bird ain't no meteorologist. That's exactly what's going through Wade's mind.
Yeah, mostly that I wish I had brought a rain jacket, but
Tyrion's definitely concerned he stopped running. And now he's looking for what everybody else is doing.
So everybody can notice this clearly now.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna kind of look around and kind of see that Tyrion stopped running and look to Mick before going. Should we turn into a ranger suits? Would that be safer?
Mick's gonna look back at you. Well, I'm not the ranger in this situation. Bandora, your team needs you. And Bandora's is already making their way down from the crow's nest on the ladder. And once they get like a good halfway down, they feel confident enough to drop down and land in front of you guys, mysteriously not breaking their legs as they land down from what was a very easy 15-20 feet in the air. What was the question?
I was simply wondering, since there's a chance we're going into combat, should we go in as our rangers? It will hide our identities and we will be prepared.
That's a good point. But let's save all of our energy for when we need it. For now, let's get below deck and do a scan for the Mystic Forest, see if we can find anything. And I feel like we might, given that we might have company. So everyone makes their way downstairs below deck, including Mick, who puts the ship on autopilot. Navi is waiting for everyone inside as they wordly watch screens. And Mick and Bandora immediately take to the consoles at the dais of the ship, starting up what they describe as a magical anomaly beacon, which is essentially a radar, or a motion radar for magic. And they're going to be doing a massive scan over the San Angeles mountain range. Um, this is going to take them 10 minutes. So in that 10 minutes, are there any preparations you guys want to make for before you go possibly on the ground or start to move the ship again?
I think Vesper's probably gonna go to Navi. They have some questions for it.
Navi is in front of the security cameras and watching all of them at the same time, their head whirring back and forth as they keep going back and forth and wordly squawking to themselves, trying to get a good grasp on what's going on. And they haven't really noticed you yet as you walk up to them.
I have some questions if you have the time. I'm sure you have the time. Do not look busy. So, this forest, why would it be important enough for our enemies?
That's a good question you're asking. It's it could be ripe with magical power, and that's what we're here to find out. But maybe someone else might have found it out before us, and hopefully they didn't get to it before us.
And is this an item or one of those things that when we find it, we will know?
It's absolutely a when you'll find it, you'll know type of thing.
I had a feeling you would tell me that.
From all the times I've personally visited the Mystic Forest, it's always been through a tree, or an arc of trees, or you're in a forest and then you're just there. There's a couple ways, but it's almost always got to do with trees.
That should not be hard in a forest. I'm sure we have this. Is there anything else that we should know? I'm aware we're searching for somebody, but as anyone else, I did not expect this.
Something you should know? Actually, yes. If we are dealing with the Children of D, and we're dealing with magic, we might be dealing with Lyra. She's a space witch from a coven that's long forgotten. And if she's involved in this, you might be in for a fight.
Is she bulletproof?
Her magic is fast, and she's got plenty of golems.
But she is not bulletproof. I'm certain we got this.
I have confidence in you, but you've only fought putties so far. At least as rangers. I know you're a little more experienced than the rest of the people here, but you can't be overconfident. It can get you killed out there. Fast!
Well, as exciting it is to have a mechanical bird tell me about my death, I think I'm going to go see my group now and inform them of this if they are not aware.
Please do. I'll keep an eye out for anything else you might need to know.
Thank you so much, Navi, even if you are quite grim. And then Vesper
I was programmed with
going to
anxiety.
This is Gabby saying this? Someone really hates Navi to program them with anxiety.
That's
Not even,
dirty.
yeah, it's not even learned from watching everything. It's just no, somebody made the sentient thought and was like, I'm gonna program anxiety into this bird, trauma it.
What's the robot from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm just gonna call him Alan Rickman because I can't remember the robot's name.
Martin, one of those two.
Marv?
I like Alan Rickman better.
I think it's Marvin. Marvin sounds right, but I think Vesper's gonna leave Marvin the bird and let everybody else know hey, besides looking for Wade's family member, we should probably look out for this magical stuff.
Wade would have also went over to go see the bird because he's been enamored with it ever since he first saw it and said it had laser eyes. And after he says his whole shtick about how dangerous it is, and apparently he doesn't have any fucking confidence in us. And Vesper leaves. I'm going to try to use my power of persuasion to get the bird with laser eyes to come with us then, since he's doesn't have any fucking confidence in us.
Okay.
Mm.
Navi's a girl, but yeah, I will
Sorry.
set your difficulty. Oh, okay. Well, difficulty's a 20. So you
All
can
right.
go. Actually, no. I'm gonna minus that by 1d4. Difficulty is 18.
All right, that is an 18 on the 20 and the 4 on the d6 for a total of 22.
All right. How do you want to? How do you how do you want to voice this? How do you want to say it?
I don't want to be rude. All right, then. So, well, if you don't think that, we got what it takes or whatever, why don't you come with us? We could always use a hand.
I believe
And then
in you guys 100%. I just
kind of
want to
hold
make
my
sure.
arm out like I'm like have a falcon glove or whatever on.
I believe in you guys. I just want to make sure you're going in level-headed and not overly confident. You're in a dangerous game now. And I don't want you to have like a Hunger Games moment or whatever, that might go over your heads.
A starving arena.
Mhm. Well, outside of game, Hunger Games would not have been written. So keep that in mind. Let me think of a different comparison.
Mad Max.
I don't want... Maybe not Mad Max. I don't want you guys to find out the hard ways, is what I'm trying to get at.
Well, then show us the way. And again, I'm gonna gesture with my little arm.
All right.
Tyrion's
Want me to come
egging
with
this.
you? I'll come with you.
And they land on your arm and kind of hop their way up to your shoulder and kind of rest themselves in.
But just stay here for a few more minutes so I can keep my eye on the screens. And once we're ready to go, I'll go with you.
So, a question for GM. The bird has to physically watch the screen. Like, it can't have the image transmitted to the bird itself.
She would like to watch the screens.
Or she just wants to. Okay.
Let me make a quick roll for that.
She's a bird programmed with anxiety. Of course she's gonna want to watch the screens.
What if it has information her sensors don't?
That's a 50%. That does not help my causes. 90%. You know what? Yes, Navi can absolutely read the screens remotely.
She just prefers to watch them.
Oh no, we're just gonna backtrack a bit, and she's gonna get up on your arm and shoulder, say, "All right," and the head's gonna buzz a little bit as the monitor screens blink a bit. Her eyes turn blue, and she kind of like dissociates.
As soon as Wade sees her kind of turn into standby mode or whatever, I'm gonna look down to Tyrion and kind of elbow him a little bit and like point very enthusiastically at the bird.
Tyrion's awestruck that you got the bird to get on you at all.
I'm gonna like mouth to him, "It's got lasers."
Let's go. I have stars in my
Tyrion,
eyes at this point.
Tyrion, as you say, let's go, you hear a clap from the other side of the room. Got it! As Mick claps his hands together, kind of like jolts his arms around in excitement as he backs up from the computer screen and points. Found it! I found something! I found a magical anomaly, a deeper part of the forest. And here's the mysterious part. Wade, you're going to want to hear this. The storm isn't touching that part of the forest. It's in a big circle in about a 30-mile radius of where we are now. And the anomaly is in a 45-mile distance from where we are now.
So that
What?
means we
Two
gotta
separate?
cross and I start holding up fingers. Like
Pandora's gonna-
70 miles of forest to get there.
Pandora's gonna like reach his hand over and like slowly just like put your hands down. No, you don't gotta do that right now. But yeah, I'm gonna get the ship moving again, and I guess Vesper, you might have been right. Be ready to morph if you need to. All right. And Pandora, without another word or waiting for a response, is gonna head up to the top of the ship. And about a minute passes before you start to feel the ship move again. Some time passes, but not long, before you continue to sail over, and the sounds of the storm start to fade into the background as you leave the storming area. And Pandora calls down on the ship's what's the word I'm looking for?
The
PA
deck?
system?
Oh.
PA system is what we're going to use right now. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. But you hear Pandora's voice come out of some speakers all over the ship and say, all right, we're out the storm and over where we need to be. All right, you guys ready to get down on the ground? I can't hear you, but come up on deck when you're ready. And the speakers are going to click off. Mick, who has not stopped searching for any more anomalies, is very focused at the computer. Navi's eyes are blue as they are on Wade's shoulder. And the ship has come to a stop.
Quick thing, do I have Secret Spider or no?
No, Secret Spider still needs time.
Do I still have the train or no?
Train is inside a Secret Spider. If you want to try to get Train out, you can go do that.
Nah, I'm okay. Let's do this.
All right, let's roll.
All right,
I think as
I
they
don't know.
I think as they
Alright.
like head up, Vesper's gonna say, "Yes, so I don't know if it just is for me, but for me to transform again, I had to say, magical source arcane force. Just a heads up. I do not know if it's just a me thing though."
Sounds
Guys,
very
get up.
simple.
You guys get up to the deck of the ship, and you're back in bright sky, and you turn around and you can see like the dark gray sky only like some miles out, and it's very mysterious to all of you. Wade, you feel a little bit validated in your suspicions from earlier as you look deeper into the storm and give me a flat d20 roll, or give me a alertness roll with an upshift 1, difficulty of 18.
I'm going to use a story point. And
Go for it.
I was so close. All right. Nope. I failed that one too. The first one was a 15 with a 2 for a total of 17, and the other one was a 12 and a 2 for a total of 14.
Yeah, so peering deep into the storm that's far behind you now. This is absolutely the same kind of storm that you saw yesterday. The ship has stopped, and Vandora has put it in park, for lack of better words. Mick is below deck working on some other things and has let you guys go ahead. And Vandora makes his way down to you guys. All right, you ready?
Wade is visibly panicking because he cannot remember what random ass rude hand gesture he made to turn himself into a Power Ranger.
Oh, actually, I should talk to you guys about something. Have you had a morph call? Have you found your morph call? It's probably
The
something
thing
you
that
guys should.
the thing that turns you into a Power Ranger, correct?
Yes, that.
I believe I found mine. I'm not sure if it is the same for everybody else.
It usually will be, depending. It's a whole thing, but yeah, that's probably something you guys should have in order. The better your synergy is, the stronger you'll be when you fight, and the morph call is a very
Yes.
important part of that.
Thank you. I mentioned it briefly when we were coming up the steps, but this confirms what I thought.
Good initiative. They're gonna nod their head at you and cross their arms, and they look proud.
Vesper hates this and is going to try to remember what the gesture was with Wade.
Me, Gage, looked through my notes and I wrote down, you specified that it was the Bloods sign. So Wade's gonna throw up the blood sign and he's gonna say, well, like my grandpappy always used to say, ain't no fucking with the Wu-Tang Clan, and try to turn into a Power Ranger.
Let me just roll this real quick. I'm gonna reverse this. I can feel it in my bones. Thank God.
You didn't think you were going to have to roll for that, did you?
So you did not. So you do not morph, but you do feel like the energy sparking you a little bit. And since you're all in close range, like Wade, where you feel the spark kind of like in your calves for like a split second. Everyone else feels it like in their feet. When I say spark, I mean like the energy rising up in you. Like you feel it come up to your calves. Everyone just kind of like feels like the bottom of their feet, just like, whoop. And that does not work. And Vandora's gonna sigh and chuckle. Please don't do that in public.
I'm gonna yell really loud. Did it work?
No.
Not
Okay.
Power Ranger yet.
Vesper is probably gonna step forward and like sigh and go, well, this worked for me last night. And then they're gonna do the card swipe Yu-Gi-Oh thing. And I went off my notes. And say magical source, arcane force.
Are you morphing in this instance, or are you just doing it for example?
Morphing as an example.
Okay. So you do morph, and purplish black light shines across everybody as your armor appears on you. And Bandora is going to widen their eyes as they nod their head again, looking proud. Magical source, arcane force. All right. If that works for you guys, that's probably what it should be. But you can change it if you want. I trust your opinions.
So then Wade's gonna throw the blood sign again and say magical, the source, arcane force.
Wade, you are now morphed.
I'm gonna yell again. Am I Power Ranger yet? Is it on?
It's on, bud.
Man.
And I imagine Lamar kind of follows suit. Magical force, arcane source? Or no, that's... Reverse that.
It still works somehow.
Oh, okay, I did it.
Now Tyrion says it's time to get big in magical source, arcane force.
Tyrion, you morph successfully, and once again your body changes and you grow to teenager size to match your teammates. Bandora's gonna look over the four of you, and he's gonna tear up a little bit and go, "Damn, you guys look great." Oh, okay, yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, Mick, we're heading to the ground. He's gonna say into his communicator as he walks into the center of all of you. Navi is still on your shoulder, Wade. They weren't affected by you morphing. They probably haven't even noticed yet. And Bandora's going to slap down the communicator, and the white teleportation light's going to shine over everybody, taking you away as you feel the rebounding of the ground under you, as you are now standing on dirt and foliage in the San Angeles mountain range in the middle of the forest. Bandora is holding a strange device in his hand that he is standing around with, turning in different circles. No. Got it? Alright. We're walking this way, and they're going to point their arm forward while looking at the device in their hands. Ready? Let's go! And they're going to start their journey into the forest. I'm going to make a couple rolls for the world around you. So, anybody got anything going through their mind as we walk through the forest? You guys are adventuring.
Is there anything? Nope, keep going before I say anything.
You guys are adventuring through, and you hear the chirping of birds. And Wade, you notice animal tracks that are old and fresh, deer and rabbits. Different small game that you would recognize, and even the big game.
Is there anything magical happening yet?
Yeah, do we notice anything like... Is it more forest, less magic? More magic, less forest?
Everyone give me an... Give me a survival. Everyone give me a survival.
It is an 8 on the 20 and a 4 on the D4 for a total of 12.
Tyrion has a 17 on the D20 and a 2 on the D20.
Vesper has a 19 on the D20 and a 2 as well on the flip.
And then Lamar has a 13 on the 20 and a 1 on the coin.
me a favor and remind me of what we were just talking about.
Inspecting how magical the forest is.
Thank you. I'm looking through the book at the same time. So on all your rolls, Wade, you are the most familiar with forests, and you notice something a bit different about where you are. It's not around you, but in the distance you hear a pretty unnatural sound for the forest. And you and just Wade give me a quick culture roll.
Culture. Here we go. Oh, that's an 18.
You had definitely heard this sound before, very early in your childhood. It's a strange jingling or singing or chiming, but it's a good distance away. But as you're following Bandora, you notice it's getting louder. Everyone else, you also hear a chiming or faint singing, trilling. You're not sure where it's coming from or how far away it is, but you definitely notice something, a feeling of maybe innocence, maybe happiness. Tyrion, to you, it feels similar to only an hour ago when you were running in circles on the ship.
Say that one more time.
It feels very similar to only an hour ago to when you were running around on the ship. The same feeling of like zoomies, of joy, of childhood innocence and happiness. This is a great time for people to be setting off fireworks right next to this window. I love it.
They're doing it over here too. That's why I had you.
Can y'all hear that from me?
I put it.
It's not coming through.
Okay, cool. That one did. All right. So yeah, you all notice a little something. Wade noticing the most, as they're the most familiar with forests. You continue to follow Bandora through the forest as he stops suddenly. Hold. All right. If we do find the Mystic Forest, I'm not gonna go in. I'm gonna stay out here and patrol the area. Do you guys think you can handle it with just Navi?
Or do we have a choice?
We'll
I
find
mean,
out.
hey man, the bird's got lasers. I think we'll be fine.
We all have lasers, but
Exactly. We'll be fine.
all right, okay. I just want to if anything gets too bad and you need me, don't hesitate to call, and I'll be there as fast as I can. All right?
Gotcha. I kind of like start to herd everybody else away from him into the forest.
Wade, what is your willpower?
Oh.
I had a
12.
feeling this was coming.
Bandora is gonna roll an alertness. A 13. Wow. Bandora notices you kind of like getting everyone away from him, and this is kind of like the second time he's noticed you seeming uncomfortable around him, and his face is gonna kind of sour a bit as he looks away from all of you and crosses his arms and all right, be safe. Call me if you need me. You got actually before you we aren't there yet. Actually, we're still walking. So So when we get there, just call me if you need me. And they're gonna keep walking, and you only walk for about 2 more minutes before the device in his hand starts to beep loudly, and he turns it off. And in front of you is a tree that is tall. It's unnaturally tall. It's reaching up into the sky, and it's the kind of reaching up in the sky that you would have noticed it from any point in the forest when you were still in the sky, but you didn't. And the singing and the chiming is at maximum volume, not hurting your ears, but very obvious it's coming from this spot as you are in front of the entrance to the Mystic Forest. An entrance to the Mystic Forest. The singing feels inviting as you feel a warm glow come from the tree. Who's going to approach it first?
Can I get just a point of reference real quick, GM? Actually, 2 things. One, about how far have we walked roughly, and about how long did it take? And then what time of day roughly are we at now?
So you guys left in the morning around like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It took you about an hour to get there using the ship. So it's about like 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. And you've been walking for about like 20 minutes.
I just want to make like and by I mean Wade, would like to make just a brief mental note of the time of day and specifically what day it is. What day is it, by the way?
Let me roll for day of the week.
Because I remember from my research in the forest is that some people went missing and then turned up like years later, right?
Yeah. It is currently Saturday.
So I'm Saturday around 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So I want to make that mental note before we decide to all go in.
All right. So you make your mental note. Anyone else have anything they want to do before they walk in? All right.
Aaron, so we're looking at the tree, correct?
Yes, you were all standing in front of it.
Can I try to touch it to see if it's, because I mean, I'm a child, tree. Touch it to see if it's solid,
So you
or
take a step
where does the
forward.
non-solid start and the solid begin? That's what I'm trying to say.
So you take a step towards the tree, and with you now being the closest to it, through the bark and the cracks in the bark, it glows your shade, or your ranger shade of purple, matching your costume. And then let's say to your right is Wade. It then glows Celadon green, afterwards obsidian black, and finally mauve pink. As the tree kind of warps as your hand touches it, the bark splits and opens as it kind of like spreads like a compass, sort of, the ones you use to draw circles. The bottom opens and the space in between becomes open as it sort of becomes an archway. The top of the archway splitting up and up and up and up, still all the way up into the sky. And it's wide enough for you guys to all walk through at the same time. And it doesn't spread any more than that.
I think seeing how close Tyrion's like gotten to the door, Vesper would probably be like right behind him. And as soon as they like stepped through, they would summon their weapon.
Vesper, you give me a... Or actually, what's your willpower?
Yes, I was really it's 17 because I'm morphed. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Okay, so as you draw your weapon, you feel a force come over you. You're. Let me get that. You feel fully compelled to lower your weapon and even put it away. And without meaning to or wanting to, you do so.
Okay, guys. So if your morphed willpower is not above 17, don't pull your weapons. Vesper is probably the first time you see them disheartened.
The Mystic Forest rolled a
Heard
30.
of that.
Huh.
No, rude.
Not rude.
All right, so yeah, you have
No,
sort
it's
of been
actually
forced
root.
magically to put your weapon away.
Again, all Structarian is just crazy. We went through a tree.
And before you guys have even really noticed, you have gone through the tree. It's behind you now, still open. Bandora's standing on the other side, keeping watch, looking back at you. He waves a little bit and then turns back around. And you are all standing in the Mystic Forest, and you're standing on a path. It's a dirt path that looks like it's been walked many, many, many times, many, many years. And the air is cleaner, it's sweeter, it smells much, much nicer. But now, you're in the Mystic Forest, and what was the plan from here? And everyone kind of turns towards Wade now, as Navi wakes up and shakes their little robot head. Oh, we're here! We're here! We made it! Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, I'm outside the ship. Ooh, okay. And they're gonna close their eyes and shake their head a bit as they load some information. Oh, I can't reach the ship. I can't reach the ship. Okay. Okay. Nav, you got this. You agreed to this. You agreed to this. You agreed to this. And they're gonna look over at everybody who's already morphed. What's our first move?
Wade is going to look back at the portal that we just came through, and he's gonna so yeah, I was doing some reading, and apparently people get lost in these things all the time, sometimes for like years, decades even.
Sometimes
And they
people
just
are lost for much
back up.
longer than that. Over your talking, Wade, you hear the voice of a woman. All of you hear this voice of a woman. But you don't see anyone around you. It echoes all through the forest. Who do you search for?
is that a pointed question?
Yes.
Does Wade see anywhere where a voice could be coming from, or is he just hearing it in his mind?
Oh no, you're hearing it from the forest all around you.
So like literally
Everywhere.
all encompassing.
Yeah. It's not overwhelming. It sounds like it's coming from the distance, but every direction.
What what is the what was the in-universe Google again?
Stugel.
One more time, please.
Stugel.
Stugel. Okay. So Wade's gonna say, "What is this? Is this like a Stugel thing where I just type out what I want and then I get it back as an answer, or what?"
I am no computer, human. I am the embodiment of the forest. And as she says that, a white light shines in the sky and starts to come down towards all of you. As a woman in white and gold robes lands before all of you. She has a very shiny gold shield on her chest and shoulders, a halo-like crown behind her head, and a regular crown that keeps her hair in a very tight but messy bun that her very overflowing hair doesn't even care for. I am Lady Thiena. Why have you entered the Mystic Forest?
Are you God?
Many consider me one. However, I would never take the title were it offered to me.
Well, I mean, I was only a superhero for a day, and they call me that already. So
I, I do not understand your way of speaking. And as she asks that, or as she says that, Navi is going to kind of take over. Lady Fiona, right? My name's Navi. Silence, robotic thing. I will only communicate information to those with life. And Navi's gonna shrink back down and sit on Wade's shoulder again.
Vesper's gonna speak up at this.
damn, I didn't know
No,
the
she-
forest was racist.
You can say what she has to say, and then Vesper can speak up after.
One of you must speak for the group and give me the information you want to find, and I may allow you to seek it.
Is Tyrion next to Wade at all?
Yeah, you're all standing, like, right now the order of standing is to the left is Tyrion, then Wade on his right, Vesper on Wade's right, and Lamar on Vesper's right, standing in a line.
Well, as Tyrion would do, Tyrion would nudge Wade and tell Wade to see if Navi could whisper what she wants to say to him so he can speak.
Wade kind of wiggles Navi off of his shoulder down onto Tyrion's shoulder in the most discreet way he could do at this point in time, standing in front of Forest God.
Navi's gonna like do the thing that Iago does in Aladdin when he falls down Jafar's staff and like pick his way down until he's onto Tyrion's shoulder. She is still very embarrassed and hasn't really said anything yet. But
I think
Navi has moved to Tyrion's shoulder.
I think to kind of like help this, I think Vesper would have like stood kind of in front of them so she really can't see this, and kind of go. You say you will only speak to a being that has life. What qualifies as life to you, Forest God?
Let me roll how she's gonna handle this question.
Oh yeah, no, Vesper's not for this.
Oh my god!
Too. Oh no!
Oh my!
We're going to die. Heard that.
No. Lady Fiona is going to glide over to you and place a hand on your cheek as her eyes go from the clean blue they were before to pure white. And Vesper, for you, everything goes dark for a second.
Vesper hates this.
Do you feel afraid?
Oh,
And as she has that, as she asks that question, you don't feel your body anymore. You don't feel numb. You don't feel, and you only feel the void approaching. Do you feel happiness? And the void around you turns white, and you feel joy. You feel laughter. You feel care. You feel love. You feel feelings you haven't felt from family in a very long time.
So she
You
went,
feel-
here's something you're used to here's something you don't know at all. Yeah, Vesper's not liking this at all.
Do we see
robot-
this, or is this just nothing?
I'll get back to you guys in just a second. Well, you guys do see Lady Fiona kind of float up and put her hand on Vesper's cheek very gently. And in your mind, Vesper, everything kind of comes back into place as you come back somewhat forcefully calm. Like, it's like nothing happened to you, but you absolutely register everything that just happened. I consider life with everything that shares those emotions. Anything that fears, anything that loves, anything that would die to protect. That is life. You are life, and I would destroy for you.
I see. And then they're gonna gesture to the embarrassed looking bird. And you said to feel, correct? Well, you're not going to believe this, but that bird was programmed to feel anxiety.
What an odd choice to give a child.
That's what I said.
We shall move on from this. I believe you are known as Power Rangers, yes? Red is usually the leader, but I see you have no direct red. So I will speak to the quiet one as she looks towards Lamar. Are
Lamar
you
tenses up
prepared to
immediately.
speak for your team, leader?
I look over to Wade. Yeah, I guess.
gonna kind of thumbs up at him.
Yeah, out of character, I was going to say it should definitely be Lamar or Wade.
I was going to pipe
Yeah.
up to say that we're looking for his dad anyways.
What are you here for? Her eyes turn white as she looks you up and down, Lamar. Lamar.
Just the tensest that he's ever been in his life. He gestures toward Wade and goes, "Okay, look, my friend here, his dad was lost in these woods, and we're just trying to find him."
Okay,
What's-
Forrest Stugel, find Wayne Biggs.
Before she can even be
Hearing.
offended, she looks towards you, Wade. Wayne Biggs.
Wayne, with an N.
I should remove you from my forest immediately. For even uttering that name. Do you know what danger that could bring?
Well, there is 11 of us.
I understand your family's lineage. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait,
The forest god is saying Jesus Christ.
I thought that too.
now listen here. If you want to find Wayne Biggs, I will be of no help to you. However, should you need to destroy him, I will be your ally.
Can I ask what he did?
One sec. Let me make a roll real quick.
Should I roll persuasion or
Ooh.
anything?
If you were going to, what would you be trying to persuade her of?
The end goal is trying to diffuse whatever situation she has with Wayne.
Yeah, go for it. Give me give me the roll you said you wanted to give me while I set your difficulty.
Persuasion. Okay. Oh, this probably ain't it.
13.
Okay. This isn't the one, so I'm going to use a story point, but I got a 6 on the 20 and then a 4 on the D4. Alright, number 2. Alright, this time we have an 11 on the 20 and a 3 on the D4.
Yes. So, how are you doing this again?
The first thing was just asking what Wayne had done to warrant this reaction.
Your Green Ranger has offended me. I understand it may be from ignorance, but magic is a very fickle thing to make angry. He brought up something that is offensive to this forest.
And what did his father do?
He is the reason I am bound here. And as she says that, you guys hear giggling in the distance. Not small child giggling, but young woman giggling. You guys have some drama going on, huh? And in the distance of the forest, approaching everyone, you see a short girl in a large purple witch's hat with a staff in her right hand walking towards you. And she's sort of skipping towards you all. I found the forest! Who are you guys? Your colors are dumb.
Power Rangers.
Vesper's gonna try to summon their weapon again.
Power Rangers, what? Oh, I can't believe I found you this fast. Let's see if you die as fast. And Lyra is going to enter a battle pose. But before they really enter, they're gonna... Actually, I got a script to stick to. So, stay distracted for me, okay? And they're gonna snap their fingers as suddenly... Oh! It ran away. Unroll that again. Seven putties apparate around all of you from smoke, now surrounding you. I've got to do a looky, and you all just stay here, okay? Lady Fiona is going to notice the witch girl who just summoned these putties all around you. You shall not taint my forest. I feel your anger, child. As she turns her head towards Vesper. I allow you your weapons. Defend this forest, and I will be at your aid. As she raises her hands and allows you all to summon your weapons finally. Everyone, roll initiative.
got a 6.
Vesper got an unnatural 20, 19 on the 20, and 1 on the flip.
I got a 1 on the 20 and a 2 on the flip.
11 on the 20 and 1 on the flip.
1 sec. Oh, that's piece of paper. All right, everyone give me your total roll one more time. I know someone had 20. That was V, right?
Yeah, it's unnatural.
Okay.
Lamar has a 6.
Okay.
Tyrion has 12.
Wade has 3 with a natural 1. I'd like to think his brain immediately turned off as soon as the forest god says, "I won't be of help to you," so he's just staring in the opposite direction when combat starts.
Oh no! They said they will be of help to you if you fight this witch.
No, like before when she was giving her speech about why she hates my dad. As soon as she said, if your aim is to help him or whatever, I will not be of help to you, Wade just immediately blue screen, faced the opposite direction, trying to find his way back to where he fucking came from.
And we're actually about to end the session, so if you want to use one of the 2 remaining story points to re-roll that, you can do that now.
I'm being completely honest, I want to, but I think that's pretty fitting for the character.
Yeah, that is a Wade move.
Yes.
All right. Word. So, you are all surrounded by putties, and the strange witch girl, Lyra, whom you were told about by Bandora and Mick earlier, disappears into a puff of smoke. I will not let her escape. Fight for me. As Lady Fianna chases her in her own ball of smoke up into the sky. And
Ballsy.
you feel the energy in your hands as you all summon your power weapons and prepare to fight the putties around you. The putties closing in. And we close today's episode. Thank you for listening to Roll 4D4, the Power Rangers, episode 4. I'm going to be real with you guys. My mania started hitting so hard as soon as it was time to record, and that was not convenient. So, if you know me well enough, you know absolutely I'm having a moment, and have been having a moment for the past 2 hours. But we got through it. Yeah, so to recap things, to recap the announcements from the beginning of the episode, Roll 4D4 might be making an appearance at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia in November. I'm going to be applying for a table to run an RPG, and I'll be running a prequel game to the Power Rangers. This was a prequel game that was meant to be played in May, but things got twisted around. Or in April, but things got twisted around, and it wasn't able to happen. One person showed up to my panel. My panel got planned at the same time as something else big, so no one came to my panel. It was great. I wasn't sad at all. But thank you for listening. Thank you for being here for another episode, and maybe see you next episode. Anyone want to do any goodbyes before we get out of here?
We're about to fight one of the D's Nuts children.
Hey, I think you did a great job. I mean, I'm biased because that was kind of a Wade heavy episode there, but I think that was great.
Thank you. It's always appreciated.
No, absolutely.
I always agree.
I appreciate you guys. And from Roll 4D4, we are signing out.